6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malawarachi and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. World Children's Day and World Elders' Day fall today. The President says children will be the pilots in the process of creating a developed Sri Lanka by the year 2048. A school health promotion month will commence from today. The ban on single-use and short-term plastic products will come into effect from today. The landslide warnings issued to 8 districts continue. Health officials have warned of a potential increase in dengue infections. In news overseas, Armenia says 100,000 refugees flee Nagorno-Karabakh region. And in sports news, England's World Cup warm-up against India was abandoned without a single ball being bowled. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. World Children's Day falls today. World Children's Day, or Universal Children's Day, is celebrated in all countries to remind us that it is the duty of the world community to give priority to saving all children for the future of the world. According to statistics, 1.6% of Sri Lanka's population is below the age of 18 years and considered as children. In a message issued to mark the World Children's Day and Elders' Day, President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that based on the current socio-economic challenges, people are shouldering the program of building a prosperous country for the children of this country to inherit a beautiful childhood. The current young generation will also be the pilots in the process of creating a developed Sri Lanka by the year 2048. Accordingly, the government has already taken steps to carry out many reforms in the education system to build the children as productive citizens with balanced personalities. Many programs have been organized under the theme, "Children are worth more than anything," to mark this day. The National Zoological Department states that children below the age of 12 years will have the opportunity to visit all the zoos, including the Digivalla National Zoo, free of charge today. Also, in conjunction with the World Children's Day, the Department of National Zoology has made arrangements to hold an education and trade exhibition from the 29th of September up to today at the Pinnavalla Orphanage and the Elephant Orphanage. Also today is a World Elderly Day dedicated to the world's elderly community. People over the age of 60 years are considered as elderly persons by the UN standards. Sri Lanka's elderly population is over 12.4% according to the statistics currently available. A school health promotion month will commence from today under the theme Healthy Lives and Happy Minds. The Ministries of Education and Health have jointly organized this promotion under the guidance of the World Health Organization. The Ministry of Education says the aim of this project is to draw attention to the mental and physical health of all students. The first phase of the project will concentrate on the promotion of health, while the second phase will concentrate on nutrition. The third week has been set aside to educate students on reproductive health and allied issues. The final week will concentrate on the psychological and social aspects of students and teachers. The Gazette notification issued banning the manufacture and use of several types of single-use and short-term plastic products will come in effect from today, the Central Environment Authority has announced. The chairman of the CEA, Supun Pathirage, stated that accordingly, legal action would be taken against the businessmen and other individuals who fail to comply with this new rule. Thus, the relevant inspections and raids will be initiated all over the island from today. As per the Gazette notification, manufacture and sale of single-use plastic straws, stirrers, cups, plates, knives, forks and spoons, as well as plastic string hopper trays and garland products will be prohibited in the country. This is news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The Irrigation Department says that the water level of several rivers have reached the spill level due to the heavy rains experienced in the western, southern, central and Sabaragamu provinces. Floods are prevailing in the low-lying areas of Katana, Jayala, Vattala, Gampaha and the Minuangona Division Secretariat areas due to the overflowing of the Athanagalu Oya. The Irrigation Department says floods in the Gampaha district can increase if the rain continue in the next 24 hours. The flood situation in the lower areas of the Nilwala Ganga and the low-lying areas are still prevailing. Several byroads near the Kaluganga are also underwater. The National Building Research Organisation has issued landslide warnings to 8 districts. Accordingly, Galle, Kalathara, Kandy, Mathara, Ratnapura, Kagala and Hambantota districts have been issued the second level of landslide warnings. The pre-warning alert will be effective until 10 a.m. today. The Colombo International Book Fair for the year 2023, organized at the BMICH, ends today. Large crowds are seen on the past 9 days itself, and many more people are expected today as well. Organized by the Sri Lanka Book Publishers Association, the Colombo International Book Fair is held for the 24th occasion. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. World Children's Day and World Elders Day falls today. The President says children will be the pilots in the process of creating a developed Sri Lanka by the year 2048. A school health promotion month will commence from today. The ban on single-use and short-term plastic products will come in effect from today. The landslide warnings issued to 8 districts continue. Health officials have warned of a potential increase in dengue infections. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, the International Commission of Jurists, ICJ, has raised concerns about Sri Lanka's new online safety bill, which was published in the Government Gazette recently, emphasizing that if adopted in its present form, the legislation would serve to crush the free expression and further contract an already shrinking civic space in the country. In a statement released on Friday, the ICJ said the bill, intending to dramatically regulate the content of online communication, including by the general public, stands to undermine the exercise of human rights and fundamental freedom in the country, including the freedom of information and expression. The Geneva-based rights organization notes that the provisions related to the setting up, appointment and functions of an online safety commission and other experts, the vague and overboard wording of conduct designated as punishable offences, and unnecessary and disproportionate punitive sanctions are of particular concern. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
In Washala this morning, over 2,500 dengue cases have been reported for the month of September, the National Dengue Control Unit reported. Health authorities have attributed the rising number of dengue cases to the ongoing inclement weather. Accordingly, a total of 64,000 dengue cases have been reported for the year 2023. The majority of the dengue cases, numbering 31,000, have been reported in the Western Province. Meanwhile, although the number of high-risk zones for dengue has been reduced to 7 localities, health officials have warned of a potential increase in the infections. They request the general public to keep their premises clean and free from mosquito breeding places. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of...
It's the power to live life your way. The power to be a trendsetter. Power to you with digital banking from Commercial Bank. Commercial Bank. Our interest is in you.
Headlines of the World News. Armenia says 100,000 refugees flee the Nagorno-Karabakh region. A motorist fined after a dog seen behind the wheel of car. A man dies in Australia after a whale strikes the boat. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. More than 100,000 people have fled the Nagorno-Karabakh region, Armenia says. It means that the almost entire population of the ethnic Armenian enclave has left since Azerbaijan seized the region last week. Azerbaijan has said it wants to reintegrate the area and treat its residents as equals, but an Armenian spokesman said it was just a lie. Nagorno-Karabakh, recognized as part of Azerbaijan, has been run by ethnic Armenians for 3 decades. The mountainous region in the South Caucasus has been supported not only by Armenia, but also by its ally, Russia. Police in Slovakia have fined a car owner whose dog was seen behind the wheel. A speed camera photo posted on Facebook appears to show a smiling canine in the driving seat of a Skoda and the car owner insisted that his pet, a brown hunting dog, had suddenly leapt into his lap. But officers in the village of Stearns, in the northeast of capital Bratislava, said the footage showed this was not the case, as there was no sudden movement in the car. It is not clear if the fine issued to the owner rather than the dog was for speeding or for failing to secure the pet in a moving vehicle. Police have appealed to drivers to secure their pets safely when driving. A whale has struck a boat in Australia, killing one man and leaving another injured, the police say. The men were on a fishing expedition when their boat was hit in the waters of La Perouse, 14 kilometers southeast of Sydney. The alarm was raised after the vessel was spotted unoccupied and circling. Deaths caused by whales in the region are rare, and the State Minister for New South Wales called it an absolute freak accident. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
This message is for all the kids between the ages of 4 and 16 who love to draw. Commercial Bank's Arunalu Sittam is back once again. This time, the competition is also open to Sri Lankan kids currently living abroad. First, second and third place prizes will be awarded along with special merit and merit certificates. For more information, visit the Commercial Bank website. We have so many prizes to be won.
In development news, a project to increase facilities in schools will be undertaken soon. Under this project, the construction of a smart classroom with modern technology will be implemented in the Puttalam district. 5 million rupees will be spent on this project. That was the development news. Let's move on to sports news. England's World Cup warm-up against India was abandoned without a single ball being bowled because of rain in Guwahati. The toss had taken place with Indian skipper Rohit Sharma opting to bat first before the rain arrived. England named 13 players, with bowlers Chris Wokes and Gus Atkinson missing out from their 50-man squad. Their second and final warm-up against Bangladesh is on Monday before they start their title defence against New Zealand on Thursday. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, State Minister of Tourism, Minister Diana Gamage, said the government is planning to pass laws to open liquor bars in hotels and restaurants until 1 a.m. and impose a levy for those who want to open them after 1 a.m. Most bars are closed around 10 p.m. in the nights, and some hotels have license to extend the bar operation until 12 midnight as per the 2018 Gazette notification issued by the Ministry of Finance. Minister Gamage said the move has led the occupancy rate in Colombo hotels to fall. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, bad loans at Sri Lanka's banks measured as Stage 3 loans to the total loans and advances expanded by 0.5% to 13.7% in the second quarter of the year 2023, Central Bank data shows, which is a slower pace than the previous 3 quarters. Bad loans went up by 1.9% in September 2022 quarter and 1% in December quarter and 1.3% in the March quarter as debt moratoria also ran out. In Sri Lanka and other countries, large spikes in bad loans are usually hangover of macroeconomic policies deployed targeted growth. That is economic news and weather report to conclude.
Weather report.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the western, Sabarkamua, southern and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy and Nuwara Eliya districts. Very heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western and Sabarkamua provinces.